are now joined by UFC women's flyweight Shana Dobson. Our first question goes to Gabriel Gonzalez with Kate Side Press.
Hey, Shauna. This is your first fight of the pandemic. What's it like going into this one as you've heard so many people talk about their experiences with the quarantine, the testing, etc.?
Um, it's been kind of weird, but I really like what the UFC is doing. They're making sure that, with the protocol, everybody's safe and, everyone, if anyone was to test positive, that they would find out right away. I didn't like that COVID test that I had to take at home, but I understand it was necessary, so it's all good.
So far, have you only done the throat swab or have you had to do the nasal test?
Yeah, the one at home was the nasal test. From what I understand, it wasn't as bad as the first nasal test that they was doing with the really long Q-tip, but the Q-tip was like this big. It was disgusting sticking out my nose. It felt very violated, but I appreciate the safety.
Oh gosh. You know what? All right. So talk about it outside of the tests. Is anything different from what you expected? Because obviously, you kind of go into it. Oh, I'm gonna do this and that. I'm gonna have to deal with this and that during fight week since it's different. Has anything surprised you about the reality of what it's been?
I haven't been really surprised. My coach, Sean Madden, he's been out to a bunch of these fights so far, the quarantine UFC fights. So he kind of hit me to the game and let me know, what it's going to be like, the weirdness about it. But hasn't been much of a surprise. It's been a great tight protocol, which I appreciate. I didn't want to come here with COVID or bring COVID back, so I'm happy about that.
To shift gears to Maria, what does she bring to the table that makes her a dangerous opponent?
Oh man, she's young, she's excited. She's coming off a great win, an impressive win. So, I have to give credit to my opponents as always.
And final question to address the elephant in the room. You're in a bit of a rough patch. Do you feel like you're fighting for your UFC career in this one?
Man, I have a different mindset than most people. I look forward. I look forward. I look to the future. I look at the present right now. And, I'm with a great team. I'm with Elevation Fight Team. I'm with a great set of coaches. So I just feel confident. I'm not even thinking about that. I don't think that is going to even be an issue come Saturday night.
Thank you, Shauna.
Sure.
Our next question is from Gabriel Pengelingen with Dojo Drifter.
Hey, Shana. So after 3 fights in the UFC, what are some of the biggest lessons and takeaways that you have?
Man, I think that the biggest lesson, after fighting in the UFC is just train your mental game. It's very important that that fighters come in mentally prepared as well as physically prepared. It can't just be 100% physical as far as preparation. Be aware of the feelings that you're gonna feel. Leading up to the fight week, the fight night. Be aware of those feelings, embrace them, and I think that's really what sets this Saturday apart.
So do you think you've been able to address those mental preparations ahead of this fight better than in previous
Yeah,
fights?
sorry. Yeah, definitely. I've been working with my coaches a lot. I'm doing my master's program right now to be a counselor. So, I strongly believe that your mind is, it's very powerful and it's a muscle that needs to be worked just like our bodies. So yeah, we've been working that a lot.
So tell me about that Masters. How long has that been going on, and what is the end goal there?
Man, too long. It's been a couple of years, but I've finished in November, and I would like to work with professional athletes. I feel like with pro athletes, this is something that we don't talk about. We don't talk about our feelings or our emotions, and I feel like I would like to help pro athletes open up about those things because we do some of the craziest stuff in the world, and I feel like we need to talk about how it mentally pushes us.
Sounds awesome, man. I actually noticed on your chest a tattoo, one love, one heart, one
Yeah.
destiny. Can you tell me a little bit about the backstory of that tattoo?
Yeah, so I'm Jamaican. My parents were born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica. So, that's one love, one people is a big motto that the Jamaican people live by. And then of course you know about the Bob Marley quote, Bob Marley, Jamaica. He's a great symbol of that country. So, I definitely I have connection with my roots.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shana. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question is from Rodney James Edgar with MMAsoldier.net.
Hey, first of all, is it Shana or Shayna? Because I always thought it was Shayna. Everybody's calling you
Thank,
Shana.
thank you for asking. It's Shauna. Yeah, am I hearing it wrong? It's Shauna. That's what they're saying, right?
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
Shauna.
All right,
But thank you
good.
for asking. I appreciate that. But I
Yeah,
answer to all 26 pronunciations of my name.
and it's really not even that difficult to think about. So first of all, congratulations on the Masters. I actually am. I'm just finishing mine up right now in journalism, so I know it is a tough journey. It's one of the toughest things I've ever done in my life. So hang in there, and let us know how that turns out. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
What's your bachelor's in? Was it also
Family
counseling?
studies.
Okay, so that's a
Yeah.
smooth transition into that.
Yeah.
You talked about, you really piqued my interest earlier when you were talking about the mental aspect of preparation. Because if you look at the best of the best fighters like John Jones, GSP, they are very, very big proponents of that mental preparation.
Mhm.
And I know, from experience that a fight camp is very, very stressful. And adding a global pandemic on top of that is just so much worse. Can you just talk a little bit about that? How the added stressors make it harder?
Yeah, I feel like with the pandemic and whatnot, it really threw a curveball in for a lot of fighters. We didn't have access to our gyms, to our coaches, to our training partners. But I think that just staying calm and planning really helped. Plan with what we did was we planned with our teammates, like where we're going to train, when are we going to train, how many people, how are we going to make sure that we're safe about it. And I think our sport is so resilient. We've just made adjustments.
Great. You earlier you mentioned Bob Marley, and you said something about a Bob Marley quote, but you never actually told us the quote. So do you have a good inspirational Bob Marley quote you'd like to share? I know there's many of them.
I don't remember the exact words, but I remember like an interview that he did where he was talking about what to him, what is wealth to him, and what are riches. And
Hmm.
he was saying like not materialistic things, like he's saying like people that you have, like great people around you and having great energy and accomplishments. That's being wealthy. Like that's having riches. That's what he considered riches. So yeah, I really vibe with that.
Absolutely. I love that. I subscribe to that philosophy as well. Last thing, just bonus question. You said your family's from Kingston. Um, I've been in Jamaica, lovely place. Have you ever tried any of that fantastic Guinness that they only make in Jamaica?
Fantastic. What?
Guinness. You know they have a Guinness brewery in
Really?
Jamaica. It's the only one outside of Ireland, as far as I know, and
Oh
you can only
wow.
get it in Jamaica.
Oh, I'm gonna have to hit that up. I plan on going back to Jamaica within the next couple years, after COVID slows down. So yeah, I love me a good beer, so I'm gonna have to hit that up.
All right. Thanks so much. And hey, we look forward to your fight. I know it's going to be a great one. So best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Our last question is from Gavin Porter with UFC.com.
That's me. So
Oh,
I just wanted to ask, why is this going to be the best version of you that we've seen so far? We've seen the tough version, and then we saw the last two fights. Why is this version on Saturday going to be the best option we've seen?
I think I gotta give credit to the training that I've put in, and where I've been for the last 6 months. I feel like my team has spoken for it. The results have spoken for itself. And just, the people that I surround myself with, the level of competition that I'm training with, my training partners, it's stacked in there every Tuesday, every Friday when we're in there getting it, and we're pushing each other and we're sparring hard. you know, I've already seen. There's nothing that I haven't seen yet. You know what I mean? I've already been. Feel fully prepared.
Yeah, and when you think about this fight on Saturday and you envision it, what does it look like for you? What do you envision your style matching up with her style? And what's it look
I think it's gonna be fun. I feel like Mariah, you know, she's a great striker. She's a great all around fighter, and I feel like, you know, I have that experience, and I have, you know, I've been in there for wars. I've been in there for technical matches. You know what I mean? So I feel like, and no matter where the fight goes, you know, we're both gonna be prepared to put on a great show for the audience.
And what does a statement win for you look like to get that fight for that finally that UFC dub that you want so bad? What does a statement win look like for you?
Man, you know I have power, so you know obviously everyone says they're going out there looking for a knockout. I know I have power. I believe that knockouts shouldn't be forced; they're not forced. So whatever happens, happens. But you know I know we're gonna be victorious.
Perfect. Thank you.
We're good, Shana.
Much good, much.
All right.